Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Time. I'm Sean. Alright guys, so we have some big news this week concerning Spider-Man. The re-emergence of Spider-Man, but in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've announced who will be playing the role of Spider-Man. It is Tom Holland. He's a British actor. Now, I haven't seen anything from him, so I don't know much of his acting skill, but from what I hear, he's a pretty good actor and he's been doing it for quite a while. They also announced a director to come with this actor. It's going to be John Watts. He has a movie out that just came out in Sundance called Cop Car, and apparently it's getting rave reviews, so that one's coming out as well. So this is a really good tandem. They're striking while the iron's hot on these characters, these guys, this actor and this director, which is good. Hopefully that Cop is not just a flash in the pan. Hopefully this director is what we want for our Spider-Man movies. I'm really excited to find this out, and they've also announced that this Spider-Man is actually going to have some kind of role in Captain America Civil War. This is really good news. I don't imagine he's going to take over for Black Panther in that role of who's stuck in between the two sides, but I do imagine something's going to happen, maybe after scenes kind of credit kind of thing, or maybe actually in the movie. It was said that when Tom Holland was doing his reads, his auditions, he actually was the only one out of all the 6, I think, the finalists, that was able to do an audition with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. So that was really, really cool, and that also leads me to believe that what he's going to be involved in the movie is going to be in the film. I mean, it could just be, like I said, it could just be an after credit scene, but you know, just hearing that, it makes me think that this is going to be inside the movie, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy they finally announced it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else we get regarding this. They said that the release date for his Spider-Man solo film will be July 28th, 2017. So I imagine once they do this, they're probably going to go into production on that film probably within the next 6 months to, I don't know, probably about 6 months. They'll probably start going into production about that, because that'll be a year and a half until it comes out in about 6 months. So I'm very happy about this news, and we've been waiting for it for a long time. Now, while we're talking about things that took a really long time to be announced or actually happen, we have Independence Day. Independence Day sequel has been taking forever to start filming. It finally started filming this week. And we've also been waiting for a title. Well, they finally released the title. The title is Independence Day Resurgence. Now, to me, this tells me that there's going to be something going along the lines of maybe the alien tech that was left on Earth, or aliens were left on Earth, and it's going to come back. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're playing with us. Maybe it's going to be something like that and want us to think that, or maybe it's just that they are just coming back from space. I don't know. It is an interesting title. It doesn't, strike a chord with me. It's like, whatever. I'm different about it. So it's really cool that they are finally, giving us some info on it, and they did finally show some set pictures, some set photos. So I'm really happy that this info came out on the movie Independence Day Resurgence. Check it out, guys. Tell me what you think down below. And the last bit of news this week is regarding this past week's box office. Jurassic World hold on steady at the top. They dropped down to $2 million on their second weekend. They almost broke the record for highest second weekend, but the Avengers held on by just a smidge. But this was a big weekend, and not only was it Jurassic World that was scoring big, but it was also Pixar's new movie Inside Out. I'm hearing great things about this film, and this one it broke the record for the highest grossing domestic opening weekend for an original property ever, with 92 million, I think it was. That's amazing. This film looks very, very interesting, and I'm excited. I want to go see it, and I can't wait till I have some free time on my hands. I've been so busy these last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that I'm really looking forward to getting in the theater and getting to watch this film. Alright guys, now on to trailer segment this week. We have a few trailers that caught my attention. First off, you have the new Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. This is called the Payoff trailer. This one, it's actually pretty in-depth. It's going on for quite a bit too, at least a 2.5 minute trailer, and it tells you a little bit about certain situations that you wish they wouldn't, because they're trying to get a little humor in there or show a little bit of another action scene, and they kind of show you a payoff, quote unquote, of some of the action scenes. So as much as I like the trailer and I'm excited for this film, I wish they would have cut back a little bit on this trailer, and maybe cut back from here. I mean, the movie's only a month out. Just don't show us anymore. We're good. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm ready and waiting for this one. The next trailer that caught my attention is called Daddy's Home, starring Will Ferrell and and Mark Wahlberg, and they're back at it again. This time they're at odds with each other more so than they were in the other guys. They're not partners. They're trying to vie for children's affection, and it looks like it's going to be an all competition with one-uppery throughout the whole movie. It's going to have a nice, I think at least, chemistry between the two like they had in the other guys, but it's not going to be anything super original. I think we're kind of hitting this lull right now in comedies where a lot of comedic movies are very just kind of here, and the great ones, the really great ones, are few and far between these days. So this one still looks a little funny. I'm going to check this one out, but I got to make up my mind if I'm going to check this out in theater or not. And the last trailer that caught my attention this week is for the movie Masterminds. Now, I spoke about this one, I don't remember how many weeks ago. This movie really reminds me of some the movies like Thank You for Smoking, Philip Morris, what was that one? I forgot what that was, with Jim Carrey and Evan McGregor. Also the one, Men Who Stare at Goats. What was the one with Brad Pitt where they worked at the gym? I forgot that movie. I think that this movie's kind of like that, has that same feeling in my eyes, and I'm excited for this one. This trailer kind of gives you an idea of what they do in the movie, about what the story, the base storyline is going to be, but at the same time, this trailer is like all over the place, so it kind of keeps you guessing. It doesn't tell you too much, but it does show you a lot. Speaking of seeing a movie in theaters, there's one movie in theaters this week that has my attention. It is Ted 2, the sequel to Ted. The first Ted was really, really funny. It was one of those higher quality comedies, and I'm really looking forward to this. I love the chemistry between Mark Wahlberg's character and all the lines Seth MacFarlane has. Mark Wahlberg's playing a different type of character in this film, the lovable but dumb and stoner, high all the time, not doing ne'er-do-well kind of character. I really enjoy this story, especially from the first one, and I'm looking forward to see what this one has in it. I want to see what Amanda Seyfried brings to the table, as I'm assuming she's going to be the love interest of Mark Wahlberg, of course, and just to see what this movie has in store for us, to see what kind of shenanigans are in store. I'm really looking forward to this film. And last segment of the day, guys, it's time for your movie of the week. This week's movie of the week was American Sniper. Now, we were watching this film last night, and the funny thing about it is, right as we're watching this film, I forget what section of the film, I hear gunshots, 3 gunshots outside my house, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, we don't hear gunshots in this area. So really weird how that happens while we're watching this movie that's all about a sniper. Now, this movie, when I went into this film, you hear a lot from the people on the outside talking about how quote-unquote good it is, or how much money it's making, or whatever the topic may be, and there's a lot of praise for it, but also there's a lot of, I guess, people not praising this film. It's a very, very difference of opinions on this film. Now, I went into this knowing that, and I went into this with also kind of an opinion of what type of army or military movies that I've seen lately that I enjoy, which we're talking like Lone Survivor or Act of Valor. Now, not in any which way does this film stack up to either of those films, and Act of Valor wasn't a great acted film. It was just a good, heartfelt story, film, action, everything. This film was a definite level below those 2 other films, Lone Survivor being the top out of these 3 films. Now, that being said, there was definitely some good aspects to this film. Bradley Cooper did a great job as his character. He really embodied him. He really embodied that Texas spirit, it seemed. And I enjoyed it, seeing his transformation from, protecting his brother to cowboy to army vet to guy who's trying to get through some PTSD and stuff like that, his demons. So he did a great job. Sienna Miller did a pretty good job as well in this film. The things that really brought me out of this film, that make me really look at this film like, man, it didn't deserve how much did it make domestically. It got a lot of it on hype, I feel, after seeing this film. The things that pulled me away from this film was, one, when they're holding their baby inside their house. The baby is clearly a fake baby. They don't do a good job acting with it as a prop. They show too much skin on the baby, and when I say that, I mean like just skin. They showed the side of the head a little too much, and you could look at it and you're like, that's a doll. You know what I mean? So there was things like that's one example of some of the things that really took me out of this movie and really just lessened the value of this film. First of all, there was that one. Secondly, you have a scene towards one of the last firefights. Actually, there's two things in the last firefight that round up my stuff that brought me out of this film. Well, one, it seemed like they're trying to make this last firefighter. They're trying to make this last firefight last a little longer. So they keep going from this guy to that guy, this guy to that guy. For the most part, a lot of them were new shots. But for one specific guy, I don't know, he must have screwed up all of his takes, but he played a role that they had to keep him and his image in there, that they kept using the same few seconds of film over and over and over and over again. They used the exact same footage of him about 4 times. It was not different film. It was not a different capture of him. It was the same exact piece of film. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, who are the editors in this that they didn't catch this? I was a little boggled with that happening. And then the last thing that really took me out of this film is when he's making his final shot, whatever you want to call it. He's taking the shot, and they go into slow motion. They show the bullet coming out of the gun, and this bullet, it looks cheaper and more fake than any CGI I've seen in the last, I don't know, 3 years. It was so terrible. It was something that you can do on your home computer. I mean, I don't know if I could do it, but if I had the skill, I would be able to do it on my home computer, and it was just terrible. That totally took me out of the film. And I know it's something as small as a bullet, which, yeah, it's just a bullet. It took me out of this film, though. I mean, it had that much of an impact because he's shooting this shot, he's taking this shot, and it's supposed to mean so much, and the realism of it is totally subtracted from this clip, and it really destroyed what the movie was building with Bradley Cooper's performance as Chris Kyle. With that all being said, I do think this movie is worth a rent, but that is more so if you are a fan of these types of movies, these military type of movies. It is going to have that stuff I mentioned that's going to bring it down, but it does have some good acting by Bradley Cooper. He's very charming. He plays the character. He seems like he plays the character pretty well. I don't know if Chris Kyle was that charming or not. And I think that this film kind of avoids the topics that were on the outside when this film came out about is his book true? Is it fake? It kind of avoids that. It just kind of tells a story, an evolution of a man from childhood to the point of his demise. So, worth the rent. If you really like these, if you like these military movies, definitely worth the rent. Otherwise, take my message as a warning if you're going to go to this movie and you're not a big fan of military movies. So, anyway, guys, that's it for Movie Time this week. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section. Let's have a great conversation this week. We'll see you next time. Peace.